Hey, what's up? This is Chosen. Gonna be joined by my good friend Ash, who runs Ash Raid Shadow Legends, and we've got a fun one here. We are gonna do a tier list live with Ash, and then we're gonna be able to see live for you where he agrees and disagrees, and then at the end, I will show Ash my list, and we will talk about where we agree and disagree and all that. So let's get into it. Alrighty, how we doing today, Ash?
Yo, Chosen, I am glad to be here, my man. I'm doing great. How are you? How was your holiday?
Hey, yeah, just it was a pretty low-key one for me. Just you know, working hard, but got to relax a little bit. Did you get to do any crazy traveling or do anything exciting?
No, I'm traveling for the new year, but I'm similar. I had a good time with the kiddo and just like pretty low key and got to actually catch up on some stuff, some work and stuff like that in between. But I've been having a good time, man.
Nice, nice. That's awesome. Good to hear. Well then,
Yeah.
I kind of talked about it in the intro, but
Yeah.
so my tier list is going to be above my head of all the Void legendaries in the game, and
Okay.
yep, Ash cannot see that. So Ash has got you know, a blank canvas template, and what he's going to do is do a tier list here, and you'll be able to see live where he is kind of differing from me. And the way that I do it here on my channel, Ash, you can make your own after this, whatever you want, but I like to have the tiers as evenly distributed as possible. So it gets kind of tough. So I'm gonna be
rules,
yeah,
Chosen. I don't know
I'm gonna
about
be hard on
that,
you.
bro. All
So
right, well, you're gonna have to enforce that, man. You're gonna have to enforce that.
yeah,
I'm gonna try to call it how I see it.
you're good. You're good. And I do want to just
All right.
say really quickly that Ash is sharing his screen with me. So if it's not like the most high quality, you know, of me capturing him, it'll get better once we at the end when we compare. But yeah, go ahead and take however much time you want, 5-10 minutes, and just kind of you go ahead and start ranking stuff however you want to do it.
All right, man. Let's just go. Let's just go in order of these champions, dude. I love ranking stuff. I know you do too,
That's
man. Some
right. Yeah.
people not a big fan. I like it. I like it, especially when you can share your opinions with other people. So anyway, Acrizia S plus, man. We're starting with an S plus. To me, that's a no brainer. One of the best PvE damage dealer in the game. I so wish I had her. She's probably my #1 most wanted champion in the game right now. Now, I noticed that you have this tier list chosen only going down to C. I like that, my man, because there's a lot of good legendaries, man. There's a lot of void
Yeah,
legendaries.
so the way we do it is like for voids, you know, there's not any like F tier voids because, you know,
No.
they're still void
Nah.
legendaries.
I think Angar's about as bad as they come, honestly. So I'm gonna give him a C tier. And honestly, since you have this distribution rule chosen, I know I'm not gonna have many C's, so we're gonna throw him down there. Listen, if you're just wanting a reliable provoker, there's a lot of options out there. I'm not a big fan. I'd rather have War Chief. He needs a buff, in my opinion, so I'm going to give him a C. Although I do think he's a C. I think he's like a serviceable legendary champion. Arbiter, I'm going to give her. I'm gonna give her A tier only because, especially in Platinum Arena, you almost never see any speed teams anymore. It's not a speed meta right now. It's a go second meta or control. So I mean, but she's still the queen. So that I mean, A tier is still great for both Hydra, use her anywhere in PvE, and in the arena for your Great Hall farming. Otherwise, she'd probably give it an S. But again, I'm trying to distribute here. All right, Baron. After his buff, I'm gonna give good old Baron a. I'm gonna give him A tier. I think he's a great arena nuker. I think he's a great damage dealer, but I'm really trying to. I'm really trying to be very.
Yeah, and
strict
just to
here on
help you
this
out,
list.
it's gonna end
Yeah.
up at about 10 in each tier. Just to kind of,
Okay.
yep.
Okay, I'm gonna give him A just because I know there's a lot of champions I like better than him, but I might change him to S. I think he's amazing after Skypiercer is no longer an unlocked ability. He's great in the arena too as a nuker, so just an overall beast of a champion. Bellinor, another A tier. I have to do it because after his buff, they gave him a massive buff, Chosen. His multipliers are really high. He has decreased defense and weaken on a 3-turn cooldown. One of what, 3-4 champions in the game that has that now. I actually think people are sleeping on him after the buff, so I'm going to give him an A tier. Again, you could probably even argue S on this champion. On Blind Seer, I'm going to give her B tier. She's one of the fastest champions in the game. She's a great support champion, has block debuffs, has a shield, has a revival, albeit a fairly weak revival, especially for a Void Legendary. So I'm going to give her a B tier, even though you could easily make the case she's better than that. She's a great champion, but I just think there's better revivers out there in the game. And if you don't want her as a reviver, then you're just getting a shield, and you know, I don't know. All right, Cardiel. I'm gonna give Cardiel. I'm gonna give him S plus. I think he's one of the better champions in the entire game. Every new piece of content that comes out, Sand Devil's obviously included, he shines in. He's amazing. Ally attack, block debuffs, can't be removed, a full cleanse, just a really, really good champion. Shigor, S tier. I think he is one of my favorite debuffers in the game. He's got the poison where he's counterattacking all over the place every time a tick goes off. He's just such a cool freaking champion. Do you want to like commentate on any of this, Chosen?
Yeah, no, and you're doing great.
Go with it.
I kind of feel bad just having you talk for 20 minutes.
No, I don't care. I'm just making the video for you. I get it, man. I get it.
That's right. Yeah.
Like, want to collab, aka make a whole video on my channel, bro? I'm just joking.
Yeah, Ash, can I bring you on? You know, I don't know what to do for a video today, so just go ahead and talk for 20 minutes. No,
I love it, man. I love it.
And also, if you want, you can just do it like quick. You can just like throw them up on the board,
and then we'll talk about it.
And then we can have a little bit more back and forth. But if you want to do a monologue on every champion, like, I mean, we keep it casual around here. Do what you want.
Crutraxa B tier, Fortus S tier, Nutcracker S plus, my second most wanted champion after Acrisia. Jinro the Stork, or Ginro, however you say his name, C tier. He would be a D or F tier. He's a trash champion. Yep. We got Gergo the Augur. Gergo, it's a really cool champion, unique passive, freeze, extra turn. Gosh, I think you can make a strong case in any of these tiers. I'm going to save him for a minute. Hegemon, I think he's still S tier. Just a great arena, nuker and control champion. Inithwi Blood Twin, even after the buff, still not enough damage for me. B tier, maybe even C, probably B though. Ethos is still a great nuker. I'm going to give him A tier. Can really use him anywhere in the game. Maybe S tier, but we'll TBD there. Jingwan, C tier. Coronar, A tier. Constantine, poof, I really like Constantine. I like Constantine more than Inithwi. I like him more than Crutraxa. So I guess you have to be A tier. Krisk, S plus. Leo, S. Little Miss Annie, B. Lydia, S plus. Marika, or however you say her name, I think S plus on this champion, brand new. Mithrala, S plus. Necret, S plus. Raglan, I'm gonna give her A tier. Raka Viletide, I'll give her S tier. Rio, S tier. Ramen 2, A tier. Siffy, S plus. Sir Nick, B. Solus, I'm gonna give him
gonna
B
start
tier.
Getting tough. You're a little bit top heavy.
I know. I'm gonna give him B tier. Taurus, A tier. I'm getting close to capacity here. Tamesia, I would give her A tier again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Tormin, B tier. Tramaria, is that how you say her name? Tramaria?
Yeah, let me make sure I'm right, but it's, C
tier.
Tramaria. Yep.
I'm going to give her C tier. I have a lot of thoughts on her. I just maxed her out. I'm going to give Alil C tier, just to kind of go through some of the bad guys. I'm going to give, even though I actually like Vlad a lot more than most players do, I'm going to give him C tier, because I have to distribute a little bit here. I'm going to give Yakarl a B tier. I'm going to give Yumeko an S. This is tough, man. Okay, where am I at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'll give her an S. I might change things here.
Yeah, you can always get them on the board and then adjust things.
Yep. I'll give Whirlum over here, Vizix over here, Ursaga over here, Eurost over here, Turvold over here, Tawanarok over here, Gergo over here. Okay, let me just see what changes I want to make here. So I have what, 11? It's not that bad, right? You're gonna let me get away with this if I was to stop it here or no?
I think you did pretty good, evenly.
Okay,
doing it live on camera, I think you did pretty good.
Thank you, thank you. So I think if I had to critique my own list before you reveal yours, I don't think I want to change much here. Turvold, I think, could definitely, you could make a case on a lot of these champions that should be higher. But Turvold, you know, he's a hard, I mean, actually, maybe we should talk about these later on when you should reveal your list here. So let me see. Whirlum. Oh, Whirlum. Whirlum Frost King, the only champion in the game, I think, with increased defense and strength and big version on a 3-turn cooldown on the same ability.
Yeah,
That's
there's
nice.
like 1 or 2 people. There might be another one, but you're right. It's super rare.
Well, Mithrala has it, but it's on 2 abilities, you know?
Yeah.
Okay. I think the Uros of Soul Cage could probably be moved down 1, and maybe I can move, like, I do think Ethos is like a different breed. I think I'll swap those, but maybe I won't do that. I don't know. You know what, Chosen? I'm gonna lock it in, man. I'm just gonna lock
Locking it
here.
in? Final
I'm
answer?
gonna lock it in, dude. I mean, well, no, not final answer. Not final answer. I think I have to put, if I'm gonna be stacked up a little bit over in one category, I think it's gonna have to be Warlord with Yumeko and S+. I'm gonna lock it in, man. Boom.
Okay, cool. Then
right.
I am gonna go combine these lists on a more high quality image, and then I will be right back, and we'll talk about where we agree and disagree.
Sounds good.
Here you go. And then I just gotta pull that up in the video. Oh, and don't like react to it yet. We'll do it like live on screen or whatever.
Yeah.
And
oh man, sorry. I reacted.
Okay, and now we are back, and there is everything pulled up live on the screen, where you can see on the left is my version, on the right is Ash's version. So what's your first kind of initial thoughts?
Yeah, the very first thing when I saw your list is, well, the very first thing is, wow, we have a lot of it's pretty similar for the most part, right? But the first thing that I saw was Fortus, man. Why you got him C tier, Chosen?
Yeah, because like you said, when you gotta evenly distribute, I gotta like split hairs.
He's the hardest hitting defensive champion in the game. He's a beast.
Yeah, and you know that's why I do videos like this, is to
I know, I love it, man.
Yep.
So who do you have the biggest problem on my list with?
That
would be my biggest. That would be my biggest contention there on yours.
I'd say you have Urost as S.
Euros?
Yeah, like I think Urost.
But yeah.
Or yeah, however you say it. Sorry, I'm definitely I say a lot of, but like I think to have, and I think Baron is way too low. Baron is like a nuking god. In my opinion. But I like most of the stuff. I think Tormund is a little bit low because he can be really account changing to help carry people in the arena if they get him.
Me too.
But yeah, like, so yeah, I'd probably put Tormund above like the Kutraxa, Aneathway, Little Miss Annie, you know, type champions.
Who would you swap out for Tormund? Probably like Gurgo.
Yeah, I would take Gurgo down.
I could agree to that.
Gurgo's got, so Gurgo is in that interesting tier where a champion, like, they seem like they'd be so good on paper. It's like, oh my gosh, he does AoE buff straight and he freezes. Like, it just seems like he'd be so. But then you don't end up, it's the same as Countess Lix. Like, her kit just sounds insane, but then she doesn't end up getting used as much as you think. And Gurgo's kind of in that same.
That's fair. How about, so with Uros the Soul Cage, or whatever his name is, dude, like, it's weird because you can make a case, I feel like a compelling case for most of these champions, right? If you really wanted to. But with Uros, I think that he can solo like 5 different Doom Tower bosses, right? So that's the only reason I put him S tier, is because if I didn't have him, like compared to almost any other champion on this list, he'd be the most difficult to replace on my account, because he's just there with like a DPS champion just to get to the Scarab King or whoever, you know, and then he just solos them and regen in Immortal. So
yeah, I do the same thing with
Scarab.
I have him there. Yep, I do the same thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's why I have him in S tier, just because of how his value is. Even though I don't use him in a ton of areas, he solos like a few bosses on his own for me. Other than that, let's see. I think that you have Bellinor. Again, I talked a little bit about Bellinor, but after his buff, I think that he's maybe a little bit. I only have him 1 tier ahead of you, but I think he's a little bit better now. I hear you on Baron. Maybe he should be S tier over. Well,
Well,
I don't know who I would
and what's
take out,
funny,
though.
what stands
Yeah.
out is how much agreement there is on the
There
top tier
is.
on the top tier champions. Like, I mean, we
Yes.
almost have the exact same top tier. The
You don't
only
have
difference,
Nutcracker in there, huh?
not quite. I put Leorius slightly ahead of him because Leorius can survive. He can keep himself. He can get to his turn. And Baron is just insane with all the ignoring and damage that he does. But Nutcracker's right there. I mean, he's like 2
Have you
champions
gone
behind.
against Nutcracker yet in the arena? Dude.
No, I mean,
Dude,
yeah.
he nuked me down, man. He nuked down my Siffy for 250,000 damage in Plat today, and I was like, oh my god, I want this dude so bad.
Yeah.
But just the ignoring 100% defense is just ridiculous. Another one that we have a big discrepancy on, and it's a newer champion, so maybe, I don't know. How do you feel about Tamaria?
Yeah, admittedly, that is
put her
one I'm
S
not
tier.
super
Yeah.
familiar with, but definitely looks good on paper. That's why
She does.
That's why my first grade, I even put her ahead of Hegemon, is because I was like, this champion's got to be good. Yeah, but I haven't had any firsthand experience, to be honest with you.
So she's got. I don't have any of these champions in front of me, but she got an AOE decreased speed on the A1, an AOE stun on the A2, and then a cleanse with some turn meter on the A3. Right. So you're right. On paper, it looks amazing. But, dude, her multipliers are beyond weak. So even in Hydra, even with 2 AoEs, she's not putting out, like, any, like, compared to, gosh, I don't know, Mother Cybele or something, right? It's not even close, like a quarter of the damage. She's barely hitting for anything. With 2 AoEs, you want something for Hydra. And with the stun, that's not helping at all because nobody can be stunned. Where else are you using her where you need a stun cleanser? You'd be surprised. Again, it's like one of those champions on paper that looks really good. And maybe if you had her and you're like, she was your first legendary, of course she would be game-changing for you, right? It depends on what, how you're looking at all these champions. But for me, I was just like, dude, super underwhelmed. Like, I don't know where I'm going to use her now,
Okay, yeah, that's interesting. No, that's good. That's good perspective. And I actually pull up all these different tier lists that I do live on stream, like almost on a daily basis. And I just go through and move stuff around and listen to feedback. And I have this champion, and just like, so it's like my list is a little bit more of a consensus.
Okay.
I try to listen to other opinions. You kind of convinced me a little bit on some of these.
Too.
Yeah, Alio is one that's kind of sliding on the board. When he first came out, people were like, oh, you should have him at least in like, A tier. But then he's kind of like sliding down to the back of A tier. And now people are saying, oh, he should probably go down to like B. So he keeps kind of like moving down.
Yeah, he's another one of my underwhelmed. And I guess the other one that I noticed on your list is, I think, where'd you put her? Yeah, so I have, you're right. Our S pluses are almost the same. But I have Mariicha. Dude, I wish I could pronounce one name in Racial Legends, bro. But I have her S plus, and you have her A tier. So we're pretty off on that one too.
Yeah, and I think that's a similar story to the last one. Is like a lot of these champions are so new that it's hard for me to put them in S plus if I can't like confirm it, because like a lot of those S plus champions, I can confirm they're godly,
Yes.
So with these ones that are so new, I like to kind of lean towards like S or A before I kind of learn more, because cause that's the same thing I did with Aileel, and then as I learn more, I slide him down a little bit, and so.
So you give them the benefit of the doubt, and then they're like, and then you're like, okay, you're not living up to expectations.
And that's what I did with Fortis. I started Fortis, but you disagree with me. You think I should have Fortis higher.
Well, I like him better than Solus, He's just if you're looking for a defense-based damage dealer, and he carries, he brings the increased defense on himself, which is nice. You don't have to pair him with an increased defense champion to get the more damage out of him, and he can just out-nuke anybody in terms of defense-based nukers. So yeah, that's why I like him, but he is also one-dimensional. I'm not sitting here saying that I did put him S tier. Maybe that's a little high on him now that I see he's Z tier for you. So maybe I am second guessing a little bit. Maybe I put him down to A tier. But if you're just looking for a defense-based nuker on a Go second team, or, I just used him in a secret room today on Doom Tower Hard, he was a beast. He like tripled the damage of the second best defensive nuker I had.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think I would definitely make a couple changes. Like after this collab, I would slide Fortis up a little bit. Maybe Bellinor up a few champions, a couple. Ileo maybe down. I might just swap like Ileo and Bellinor. So yeah, I've got about 4 or 5 changes that I would probably do based off of kind of hearing another creator's feedback. You know, someone that's been playing for years and kind of seeing how they react to my list.
Cool, man. Well, yeah, I really enjoyed this, and I loved, similar to you, like you bring up some good points on some champions, even like Gergo. Like I like him too, but you're absolutely right about, because I had the same experience with him. Like, dude, I'm gonna use this dude everywhere, and you're like, I don't really use him, you know. So
Yeah.
always love chatting with you on these, and I love tier list. So let's do it again, man.
Yeah, man, for sure. Well, then I guess that kind of wraps up me and Ash ranking the Void legendaries. Feel free to let us know down below where you agree and where you disagree. Both of us always love to hear feedback to learn more about the game. So I will link down below to Ash's channel. You definitely want to go check out what he does. He's crushing it over there with the Raid Shadow Legends content. And yeah, thanks for joining me, man. I appreciate it.
Chosen, thank you, man. Always a pleasure.
Thanks.